2 till 4.
BBC Radio Merseyside.
Good morning. It's 11 minutes to 8 now. All this week, we have been busy, to say the least, but we've been looking on the programme. We've been taking a look at mental health and why we should pay maybe closer attention to our own emotional well-being. Dealing with a physical illness will often gain the care and support of those around you. Of course it does. But mental health, you can't see it, you see. Often leaves us feeling a little bit alone. And can you talk about it? Not everybody can. There's still a big stigma that's attached to that. Now, Seema Kennedy is co-chair of the Joe Cox Commission on Loneliness.
Loneliness is a big problem in our country, and it's growing because we have more older people and more people living on their own. I think the good news is, though, that increasingly people are recognising that it's a moral issue, it's a societal issue, but it's also a public health issue. There has definitely been a big stigma around loneliness, and this is one of the reasons why we want to talk about it more. Sometimes people don't realise that actually what they're craving is other people's company, because isolation is quite easy to measure. It's an objective thing. We can say, oh, this person's only had contact or a conversation with another person so many times a week. Loneliness is subjective. So some people are working, some people are going to school, some people are married with children and still feel and they might have lots of contact, but they still feel very lonely. But they don't want to admit it. It's because the quality of their relationships might not be as they want it to be.
Yeah, and that stigma plays a big part as well, as we mentioned before. That's Seema Kennedy, co-chair of the Joe Cox Commission on Loneliness. Now, one man who knows all too well about these issues is Marc, who's battled depression around 20 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you still in that battle, Marc?
I cope with it. I don't think you ever really can say you're cured, but yeah. I cope.
You manage it. Do you have managing techniques?
Yeah. Oh, lots. Yeah.
How do you manage?
Mindfulness practice. I've also got a huge lot of support from people. I mean, when I was diagnosed here, I was put in touch with PSS and the Liverpool Mental Health Consortium and Time to Change and all sorts.
Was there a big gap before you got to the point where you thought, I need to talk to somebody about this?
Oh, yes.
Was there a huge gap before you confronted it?
I mean, I was actually with a second partner. I lost my first wife and then lost my second, and I was with her, and I mean, throughout a lot of that time, you know, I was amazed how she stayed with me, because I didn't want to be with me, you know.
Maybe she loves you. Maybe that's
she did.
That's the reason why.
Sadly, she passed away as well.
Do you think these have been the triggers for you? I mean, it must have made a contribution of what's happened.
Yeah, I mean, the first time my first wife had a major stroke, and I became a carer, and I mean, it changed everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was worried about going out, so I sort of dug myself in. And the second time, I just sort of, it hit, you know, the after effect hit. And I found that I just didn't want to be with anyone.
That was another coping mechanism then, was it? Yeah. But that can only happen for so long, can't it? Because it catches up with you. And then did you start to not crave other people's company, but did you seek other people's company just to talk? Or
I knew that something had to change. So when I went to PSS, I mean, the great thing about PSS was I got there and did the course on depression and realised for the first time that, hey, I'm not alone, you know. Any loneliness that I have, I contribute to myself. It's not exactly a choice, but, you know, it's a condition.
It affects people in different ways, doesn't it? You know, it's not a one-size-fits-all, is it?
No,
by any means.
Not,
you know.
No.
And do you think that people are reluctant to talk about it?
Oh yeah.
For reasons of this stigma, and there are still those who will say, well, pull yourself together. You'll be all right, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Worst things have happened. You'll cheer up. You'll be all right tomorrow. It's not the approach, that, is it?
No. I mean, since I've learned to cope, I actually do try and destigmatise as much as I can through. I mean, I've worked with a drama group from PSS and called Probably Good Show now.
That's helped, has it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, I've made sort of installation videos for World Mental Health Day, and there's one coming up for Mad Pride in the beginning of April.
Yeah. And that's helped other people. You doing that has helped other people because you've been there.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why am I doing it?
I would have thought so. Well, it's just talking about it. It's like, for years and years and years, people wouldn't talk about cancer.
No.
They just wouldn't even say the word.
No.
Now, we talk about this openly, and that can only be a good thing, as with mental health as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What would you recommend to someone who may be finding themselves in a situation that you found yourself in, maybe feeling low, or I don't really want to tell anybody? If I tell somebody, if I go to my boss and say I'm feeling a bit down, I can't come into work, they're going to fire me. So you tend not to tell people, but again, that's not the approach, is it?
No, you really need to talk to your doctor. The doctors are a lot better now. I mean, they were, stigmatising it as well up to a point. Not that's probably the wrong word, but
no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but talk to your doctor. If that doesn't help, go to Talk Liverpool. I mean, we're very lucky in Liverpool because there is such a big support network. Talk Liverpool, you can self-refer.
Yeah.
And ask them about things like PSS.
When we're almost out of time, but when you first offloaded and talked about it and said, this is what I've been going through, and you did that, what did it feel like for you? Was it a huge weight?
Yes, being reborn. I felt like I was taking my life back, basically.
Really?
Yeah.
How are you now?
Good. I mean, I'm on the point of going self-employed and, sort of work with elderly and
good luck to you.
Vulnerable people.
Good luck to you. You've timed it well with the tax with the self-employed as well.
Yeah,
really well.
I panicked at the budget. But
oh, they've scrapped it now. You've been fine.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a pleasure to talk to you, and I know it's a big deal to come in and talk on the radio about such a personal issue, but you've helped a lot of people by doing that, and I really appreciate your time, Mark. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Smelly in the Morning. BBC Radio Merseyside.